Welcome to the Metal Matt Podcast. And on today's episode, I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite albums. And that's going to be really interesting. First of all, I want to give a couple of shout outs. One to my very best friends, Spanky and G, and their podcast, Movie Mayhem. Absolutely amazing. Both of them have great chemistry. Just great episodes. Give them a listen. It's just awesome. Then I want to give another shout out to Chucky115 Awesome, or as he's now known, Spotty, on the playground. Does a lot of stuff for us. He runs the Instagram page, and he's a good graphics artist guy. Just a great guy overall, and I consider him one of my very best friends. So keep up the good work, Spotty. And I think that's all for... Oh, one more thing. Chucky's Playground. The best site to be on online. Just a great place to be. Great people. We talk about all types of stuff. So it's just going to be really, really cool. So definitely join us. Because we're getting bigger by the day. And it's just going to be... It's just an amazing place. I definitely recommend that you join us. And so now it is time to shoot the shuffle. And at number one, Crazy on You by Heart from Dreamboat Annie. Really cool song. I really like Heart. Specifically their heavier days back in the 70s with Dreamboat Annie and Little Queen when they did Barracuda and stuff like that. I'm not too crazy about the pop, about their more commercial days in the 80s. Though that is good as well. I just prefer their more rock stylings of the 70s. But that's just me. They're still putting out great albums as well. So definitely Heart is a great band. Number two, Chavito Ardente by Jim Johnson from WWE Theme Addict, The Music Volume 6. Interesting theme song for Chavo Guerrero. Number three, Play That Song Again by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts from Up Your Alley. Pretty cool song from what I think is one of Joan's strongest albums. It's a really good album. Number four, Another One Rides the Bus by Weird Al Yankovic from Weird Al Yankovic. Really good parody of Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. Number five, You're Too Possessive by the Runaways from Waiting for the Night. Really good Runaways song, though I like Joan Jett's version of it much better. Number six, Across the Nation by the Union Underground from WWF Forcible Entry. In my mind, perhaps the best Raw theme song ever. It really does bring me back to the good old days of WWE, and it's just really cool. Number seven, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Marilyn Manson from Smells Like Children. Really, really good cover song of the Eurythmics. And just really creepy and awesome at the same time. Number 8, Electric Head, The Agony, Part 1, by White Zombie from Astro Creek 2000. Really cool intro to Astro Creek 2000. Just really awesome. Not the strongest song on that album, but it's still pretty cool. Number 9, Sick Bubblegum by Rob Zombie from Hellbilly Deluxe 2. Really good song from Hellbilly Deluxe, one of the strongest ones on that album. And number 10, Genius of Love by Tom Tom Club from Tom Tom Club. Very 80s kind of band and song, and this was basically a side project by two of the members from Talking Heads, and it's really cool, very danceable. And so Shoot the Shovel is out over, and now it's time to go on to my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Now, this one, it probably won't be that surprising of a list, especially number one. Anyone who knows me will most likely not be surprised by number one. Nevertheless, I thought it would be a really cool list to talk about. So, let's get started. Number 10, Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime. This one is a really cool progressive metal album, and also doubles as a rock opera. The story revolves around a heroin addict named Nicky, who and he's all about the revolution and stuff like that. He's kind of a rebel in his own right, and he gets involved with a charismatic leader, political and leader named Dr. X, and he brainwashes Nikki into doing his bidding for him. And it's kind of a simple story, but it's really cool at the same time. It has a lot of great songs on it. Spread the Disease is a great song as well. Speak is also awesome as well. The Mission is a great song. Sweet Sister Mary is a 10-minute epic song. It's just really cool and something that really only Queensryche can do very well. It's just a great concept album. If you haven't listened to it, definitely give it a chance. Because Queensryche is a great progressive metal band. They're not quite as good as they used to be now, but back then in the Operation Mindcrime and Empire, they were awesome. So definitely check them out. Number 9, Metallica's And Justice for All. Another great progressive metal album. And this was kind of the beginning of Metallica kind of experimenting with their sound. Because this is more of a progressive metal album than it is a thrash metal album. And while there are remnants of thrash metal on here, like Dyer's Eve and stuff like that, most of them is very progressive. And kind of a, I wouldn't say Rush, but more along the lines of Queensryche. So it's really an interesting album. And Justice for All, the title track, is just amazing. Just a really great album, great song. And Blacken is a great intro as well. And The Live Is to Die is also an amazing instrumental as well. So definitely check it out. I think it's Metallica's best album in my view. Number 8, Iron Maiden's Power Slave. This is a great album from Iron Maiden. And this has a lot of great songs on it. 2 Minutes to Midnight is a great 6-minute song. The title track is awesome as well. And this album also has one of my favorite songs of all time. And that's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And this song is a very long song. I believe it's about 13 minutes in total. And it's just a really great song. And it really reminds me of King Crimson or Rush and something like that. Kind of a story-driven kind of song. Not necessarily story, but just a really epic song inspired by the poem of the same name. And it's just really cool, just awesome. Definitely check it out, because it's just an amazing song. And that's really what makes it one of my top 10 favorite albums, is because of that song. But there's also other songs like 2 Minutes to Midnight and Power Slave and stuff like that. So it's definitely a great album and one of Iron Maiden's best, if not their best. Number 7, Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals. This one is a really awesome album as well. And this was his third album, I believe. And just a really cool one. And this was when Marilyn Manson kind of differentiated his sound, if that is even a word. But he kind of experimented with his sound on this one, because before this he was kind of an industrial metal artist, and now on this album he was more of a glam rock artist in the vein of T-Rex and David Bowie and stuff like that. It has a lot of great ballads on there, like Disassociative and The Speed of Pain, and just really just great stuff like that. Then you have your rockers like I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me, New Model Number 15, The Dope Show, Rock Is Dead. You know, just awesome songs like that. It's just a great album. It's a concept album. And sometimes I like concept albums a lot because you can really get into the story, and it's just a really good album, very well done. So definitely check that out because it's really good. Number 6, Aerosmith's 9 Lives. 9 Lives is, I believe, one of the first ever albums I actually listened to. So it's definitely kind of nostalgic for me as well. The title track, which begins the album, is just awesome. Hole in My Soul is also a great 6-minute ballad as well. Taste of India is an amazing song, just absolutely awesome. Just really good songs like that. And The Farm is also a really kind of cool and creepy one as well. Fallen Angels is, I believe, Aerosmith's longest song to date at 8 minutes or so. And it's just really good. Definitely check it out. One of Aerosmith's best albums, I think. Number 5, Joan Jett, Sinner. I had to choose at least one Joan Jett album for this one. And it was between this and Good Music. And while I like all of Joan Jett's albums, I had to choose this one because I really do love this album. Her covers of AC/DC and Androgynous are great as well. And I think Baby Blue is great as well. Change the Word is awesome as well. Rose is a pretty cool political song. And all in all, it's just a really great album. One of Joan Jett's best. So definitely check it out. It's really, really good. Number 4, White Zombie's Lost Exorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1. Again, just a really great album. Great groove metal album. Just a lot of great songs on there. Thunder Kiss 65 is awesome. The Rust. Let's see here. Warp Asylum is awesome as well. A great closing song for the album. I Am Legend is a great, great song as well with a fantastic intro. And it's just a really good album. If you were to listen to White Zombie, if you're a new fan of White Zombie, I'd say listen to this album first because it's definitely mandatory listening. It's just an awesome album. Number 3, Weird Al Yankovic's Straight Outta Linwood. This was the album that made me aware of Weird Al. Poodle Hat was the one that got me into Weird Al, but this one made me aware of him. And this is a great album. It has great parodies. White and Nerdy is awesome. Confessions Part 3 is really funny. And the original is also awesome as well. Don't Download This Song is really cool. Kind of that style parody of charity songs like We Are the World and Do They Know It's Christmas. And it's just really cool. And just really cool, awesome album. If you're a Weird Al fan, this is definitely awesome. Now, if you were just starting out as a new fan of Weird Al, I think this would be the first album that I would listen to. So just a really good album. And if you're a newcomer to Weird Al, definitely start out with this one because it's just really cool. Number 2, Lisa Marie Presley's To Whom It May Concern. This one might be a little bit surprising to people who know me because it's not necessarily rock. It's it kind of has a pop kind of sound to it, but not too much. I would honestly consider it to be pop rock. It's kind of an odd genre of it, but it's still a pretty cool album to listen to. S.O.B. is a great opening song as well. The Road Between, Lights Out, Better Beware, Sinking In, the title track, and a hidden track, Excuse Me. Just a great album. Just a great album. Almost every single song is just a great song, and it's just amazing. A really awesome album. Definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. For if you're a pop fan or a rock fan, really of any genre, I definitely recommend it because it's really cool. She doesn't make any attempt to sound like her dad. She's just doing her own thing. That's really cool, and I really like this album because it's really, really awesome. And finally, my number 1 favorite album of all time, Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. And anyone who knows me probably won't be surprised by that. As I've said many times in the past, Hellbilly Deluxe is my favorite album of all time. Rob Zombie, one of my favorite artists of all time, just really, really good. And this album just has a lot of great songs. It has a great intro, Call of the Zombie. Then it has Super Beast, Dracula, and Living Dead Girl. Though I might have those backwards, but those were like the three big ones, three big singles of Rob Zombie's Super Beast, Living Dead Girl, and Dragula. Then it has a great kind of segue instrumental called Perversion 99, which is great as well. Then we have Demonoid Phenomenon and Spook Show Baby, and that's great as well. Then How to Make a Monster is a pretty cool one as well. And I think we have The Ballad of Resurrection Joe or something like that. And it's a really cool, that's a really awesome one as well. Then we have Meet the Creeper. And then we have most likely my favorite Rob Zombie song of all time, Return of the Phantom Stranger. This one is just a really awesome song. Just a great thing. Just a great song. Awesome one. And just, there's nothing more I can say than awesome for this song. And the music video is amazing as well. It takes place in a graveyard. It has zombies and all that type of stuff. And it's just amazing. It's just really cool. And, overall, just an amazing album, awesome album. It came around, I think it came out around the same time as Bride of Chucky. And for some reason, I always think of this album as like a separate soundtrack to Bride of Chucky for some reason. I really don't know why. Maybe it's because the Living Dead Girl was in the movie. I mean, I don't know. But for some reason, I always feel like this is like another soundtrack. An unofficial soundtrack to Bride of Chucky. It just has that sound, and it really does seem like the type of album that Chucky would listen to, because he does listen to White Zombie in the movie, so I wouldn't put it past him to listen to Rob Zombie, but yeah, that's just kind of a funny observation that I kind of found kind of cool, but I always consider that a secondary soundtrack. And the soundtrack to Bride of Chucky is awesome as well, but I always consider this a secondary soundtrack for some reason. But yeah, anyway, Hellbilly Deluxe is an amazing album, just great album. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. It is just an amazing, awesome album. If you liked White Zombie stuff, mainly Los Exorcisto and Astro Creed 2000, you're going to like this one. It's a bit different. It's kind of similar, but a bit different as well. So just a really cool album. My favorite album of all time. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. And when we come back on Friday, we're going to be talking about a movie series that is rather interesting for me to talk about. And I know two certain listeners of mine really love this series. And they know who they are, Spanky and G. But we're going to be talking about the Shrek series, and that is going to be tons of fun. So that's what's going to be happening on Friday when I come back, and I'll see you then.